Every now and then, a politician does something that's just kind of so ridiculous that you just can't help to record a podcast of it. Today is one of those stories. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, let's go Brandon Johnson, calls on the city to give Black residents fewer parking tickets for racial equity. Parking tickets, racial equity. That's where we're going with this. Let's get into this. Let's check this out. We're also going to take a quick look at Hey Jackass and see how the crime levels in Chicago are coming. Because while we're talking about significant crime like parking tickets, we might as well see how many shootings and murders and, the other insignificant stuff that we're not really focusing on. We gotta get those parking tickets down because, parking tickets are what holds the society together. And if you're getting too many of those, anything could happen. How do you come up with policy like this and not expect jackasses like me to just go, what are you doing? How is that even a thing? I don't get it. City of Chicago and Democrat Mayor Let's Go Brandon Johnson is calling on city authorities to give Black residents fewer parking tickets in an effort to push racial equity. The city has established a racial equity office, which pushes the idea that urgency is white supremacist and has made its city police give fewer parking tickets to Black residents. One of the things that really caught my eye with this is like when somebody hands out a parking ticket, most of the time there's nobody in the car, right? Because otherwise the person drives off. Yeah, no parking ticket for me. Catch me if you can. I know they can grab their license plate and give them a ticket, but you know what I'm saying? So most of the time the vehicle is empty. In real estate terms, it is vacant. Based on that, how do you know what race the person is that's getting a parking ticket? How is that established? That doesn't matter. Don't worry about that part. I mean, that's logical. That's reasonable. Don't focus on that. We just got to get this equity and inclusion and diversity. Got to get this all dialed in. Chicago has a long history of racial disparities and social inequities, especially on the south and west sides. I'm not saying that's not a thing. I'm just saying, hey, maybe parking tickets. Yeah. Saying there's a priority list of things to work on. Parking tickets? All right. How about all these folks that are getting them? Maybe they just deserve them. What about that? Maybe they're getting legit tickets. Yeah. Well, anyway, as a longtime resident of Chicago's West Side, I see the devastating impact systematic inequality can have on a neighborhood and its residents. So we're saying folks in the South and the West Sides are getting more parking tickets and they should be getting fewer. All right. How does that, what are we doing here? In order to achieve racial equity, Johnson said, we must acknowledge the injustices of the past and consistently include those who are most impacted by inequality in our policy and decision-making, not just when it is easy or convenient. 100% agreed. And on that note, let's just take a look and see how those who are impacted the most by what's going on in the most violent of the communities. Let's just see how that's working out. All right. Final for October. Today is now recording this for you on November 1st. In Chicago, we have shot and killed 47 human beings. Shot and wounded 238. All right. 238 shot and wounded. Total shot 285. Total homicides, 52. Though this past week, we had shot and killed 7, shot and wounded 30, total shot 37. This year to date, we've had 488 people shot and killed in Chicago. Shot and wounded, almost 2,200 people shot and wounded in Chicago. Total shot, 2,663. Total homicides, 544. Now I'm going to go Allen Iverson here, and I'm going to go And you're talking about parking tickets? Parking tickets. Parking tickets. Parking tickets. So somebody who lost their son, their daughter, their wife, their mom to this devastating gun violence, to this devastating gang violence, think they're worked up about parking tickets? I don't think so. Gonna say no. Gonna say, yeah. So my idea is, hey, focus on what really should be focused on, and all this other stuff, I think people are going to give you a hall pass, right? But no, you got to be able to come up with these statistics and say, what a great job I'm doing. Meanwhile, look at the craziness actually happening on the streets. Demonstrating proper accountability towards people and the outcomes we are committing to is vital. It is. It is. And that's why I bring those crime statistics up, because nobody gives a crap about the parking tickets. Parking tickets. Talking about parking tickets. I am confident that this is just the beginning, and the impact of this work will last for generations to come. No more parking tickets. All right. I am proud of the work that is being done thus far to build systemic equity and secure racial justice for our residents. All right. We just read how many people have been killed, murdered, shot. Is that something that's, yeah. In the city's racial equity report, it states that a goal for the city's Department of Finance is to implement a plan that will result in few parking tickets issued to Black and brown residents of the Windy City. Continue to use data to deploy parking enforcement personnel to further reduce average fine amounts in Black and brown neighborhoods by 2.5% and implement improved boot zones. Improved. Better? More effective? What does that even mean? And a prioritization of resources to reduce the percentage of vehicles immobilized in Black and brown neighborhoods by 5%. Meanwhile, you've just got shooting raging on. So how's that work out? The city goal is listed as complete. The report also noted that it reduced the share of tickets issued in majority Black and brown communities from 15.3% in 2020 to 14.9% in 2021 to 13.9% in 2022. Well, that mother who lost their son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, I'm sure is to some, because they were shot. I'm sure they're going to understand that a lot of work took place to get you from 15.3 to 14.9 to 13.9. Yeah, they're gonna be okay with their family member deceased. They're gonna be okay with that because you got down to your 13.9%. Strong work. The Office of Racial Equity even has a page on the city's website called the Equity Learning Kit, in which it lists reading material for employers, educators, parents, and young children. City of Chicago also provides a link for employers regarding so-called white supremacy culture. Examples of so-called white supremacy culture include perfectionism, a sense of urgency, getting to a meeting on time. That is, boy, yeah, let's get this done now. That just screams white supremacy, doesn't it? Defensiveness. Okay. Worship of the written word. Oh, okay. Objectivity. I thought that was a good thing. No? Objectivity. I thought sense of urgency, objectivity, perfectionism, and individualism. So we're not all just part of one big group and identify as the big group. Individualism. I thought that those are some of the principles that the United States was built on. No? I guess not. Well, I also didn't realize that parking tickets were such an integral portion of society as well. I guess I've learned my lesson and, fewer parking tickets for everyone. Is that, are we allowed to say that? Can we go there? Parking tickets. Yeah. Huh. Well, anywho, how about those bears? What about those bears? I don't even know where you go with this stuff, like the examples of white supremacy. I don't even know where you go with that, because does that make any sense to you at all? It doesn't to me. And I have plenty of people that, follow this podcast that are not white. You know what I mean? Plenty of them. I talk with them fairly often. And I think the vast majority of them would agree as well. Hey, yeah, some of that stuff is just flat. It doesn't make any sense. Like this entire concept here that we're going to really ratchet down the number of parking tickets. Now, where I would say if this was legit, if you are literally handing out, 100 tickets to one in a community, whatever, and you look at the demographics and go, okay, yeah, this is wildly one-sided. All right, then I'm okay with it. But there are so many other things that I think you've got to that require and should demand resources in Chicago. Not only do you have the gang violence, gang members shooting each other and shooting the community, you've got massive issues right now with the entire, we're a sanctuary city, but we don't have enough resources for our own homeless folks. We're stacking up these illegal immigrants and we're not taking care of our own. That is a real storyline that you are seeing in these sanctuary cities where you've got, let's go Brandon Johnson saying, well, I'm going to go down to the border and see what's going on. No, I'm not. I'm going to send a contingent to go down there. Meantime, I'm going to stay back up here and work on parking tickets. Huh. Yeah. Cause who knew that, parking tickets are what holds society together. Crazy stuff, right? I don't get it. But then again, all right, I didn't vote for this guy. Chicago, how's that working out for you? How are those stats on Hey Jackass working out? Numbers are actually down from 2022. Believe it or not, they are down from 2022 because in 2022, you had some record level setting of just numerous categories of, oh, hey now, that's not good. Parking tickets, I don't remember those being mentioned as a super high priority, but, do what you got to do to survive, right? Oh, okay. Well, that's it for me on this one. I have beaten to death the topic of parking tickets. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.